Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Zero from TechDragon.info, and today we're gonna do a small garage tour. I haven't done one of these in a while, and a lot has changed in my garage. I guess we'll first go over the premium tanks I have. Jesus Christ, there's a lot. I have more premium tanks than some people have normal tanks. That's just bloody insane. So, I guess we'll just go over every single one of them briefly. T2 light tank, haven't played this thing a whole lot ever since I got it. It's not a bad tank, it's pretty damn quick. Top speed 72, yeah, it really is fast. And it's overall not bad. It's a fun little low tier tank. Pretty much the same goes for the Locust. Pretty much the exact same idea as the T2 light tank. Super Pershing, one of my first premium tanks I bought, actually the second premium tank I bought, and I still enjoy this thing. Especially after the last buff round I got, it's a joy to play. A lot of people disagree, let them. T14, nicknamed Bouncy Castle, even though this thing only has 50mm of armor, this thing is a beep to pen because of that sloping. Side armor here has a decent plate of spaced armor combined with very thick tracks, meaning this thing has a pretty decent chance to actually bounce on the side as well. T34, probably one of my all-time favorite premium tanks, or just all-time favorite tanks, really. I tend to just pretty much always do well on this thing. Highest damage, I think highest average damage out of all my tanks, and it's just a blast. And that's probably gonna get buffed. Woohoo! Cromwell, this thing was a surprise to me. I really enjoyed this thing, and the weird thing is, I hated the normal Cromwell. Couldn't stand the thing. Not as bad as the Comet, though. The Comet is one of the worst tanks I ever owned. I have a horrible victory ratio in it as well. Now, this was a long time ago that I played it, but I just did not like it. And this thing, I've been having a blast in it. It's fast, it has a good gun, good reload, good aim time. It's just fun, which is weird. FV201, I was gonna say 4, but it's not a 4. This thing comes pre-scratched, as you can see, so this thing is used to getting shot to hell. Big, fat, sluggish kind of tank, but on the other hand, it gets a pretty good gun. Well, not really a fantastic gun, but it's that same 17-pounder as you've seen in a lot of tanks, but for some reason it just works on this tank, and I don't know why. Good rate of fire of almost 14, and yeah, I tend to do pretty damn well on it. Now, over here we get the, I've seen that gun before. Pretty much the exact same gun with slightly better soft stats, or whatever you want to call them. I've only taken this thing out for 1 or 2 games, and just haven't gotten around to play any more of them. And the crew pretty much still sucks. Still working on that crew. My good crew went to my, well, you can't see it right now, but went to my tier 6 British TD, so I don't have that crew anymore, so I had to start a new crew, so that's why it's so shitty. But yeah, overall, pretty decently armored, and yeah, I don't know, I still have to play more games in it to really get an opinion on this thing. Yeah, let's just skip that one. Tetrarch, I was actually one of the fortunate people that got this thing as a gift. I then was stupid enough to sell this thing. However, what you need to keep in mind is back when I got this thing was so long ago that I fought Lewis in this thing. Yeah, Lewis, you heard me. You couldn't pen a thing, you couldn't do a thing, and everybody pretty much one-shot at you. That was playing this thing. That's what it was like back then. That's horrible. So, yeah, I sold it, and with a bit of luck, I managed to get it back for free from Wargaming. They had a trial a while back where you could buy back or get back your premium tanks. Well, back up. There was a system in place where you could send in a ticket that you could reclaim a tank that you previously sold, but only if it was less than a year ago or something like that. Well, it was more than a year ago, so they couldn't do it. Then they came around with this page on the website where you could go to and you could reclaim some of your sold premiums. I went there, this thing was in there, got it back, instantly got it back. They subtracted the 100 or so K money that it cost, and that was it. So they couldn't do it, but their system could. Okay then, awesome. But I managed to get it back, and I'm very glad because this thing is a beast. T127 is a lot like the T14. It really doesn't have that much armor, but because it's sloped so well, you actually do have a pretty good chance at bouncing shit, which is really nice. Then there's this thing. Yeah. We're gonna have to look at Mizu for this one. This thing looks like he has a derpy face. I mean, 2 eyes, a nose. Yeah, this thing looks like it has a derpy face. This thing, again, is one of those tanks that, on paper, really isn't all that good. 25 armor really isn't all that fantastic, but it is sloped on all sides. Like, everything on this tank is sloped, so you do have a pretty good chance to still bounce at least 50% of the rounds on this thing. Let's take a quick look here at the stats. I've only played 3 games in it. All 3 were a win. Armor efficiency, that's actually less than I would have thought. That's a lot less than I would have thought. Wow. So it doesn't bounce that much. But I've been doing okay in it. Not fantastic. 71% hit rate. Survived 1 out of 3 games. Damage ratio pretty good. Destruction ratio pretty good. Spotted, but I'm not really all that used to this thing just yet. Not brilliant in it. But over time. BT7 artillery, yeah, what can I say? It has a derp gun, it misses a lot. Next. Valentine, I've not really gotten around to play this thing again. I don't know, the gun is... It's pretty much a gun from previous tier. It's a tier 2 gun on tier 3 tank. Excuse me, a tier 2 gun on tier 4 tank. So it's the same gun as a T127, but that tank is a tier lower. So, you know, it's the same tank as the BTSV as well. The aim time is a little bit long. Well, 1.7 seconds. Not that long. Is it just so much longer on a BTSV then? 1.7. Then why did it feel like it was ages for this thing to aim in? That is bizarre. So, Valentine, quite armored. I mean, 60 armor all around pretty much. And 65 on the turret is pretty damn armored. I need to play this thing more. This thing. Probably one of the worst tanks I ever bought. This thing is a horrible premium. It really is. I mean, check out the gun here. 160 damage, not bad. 126 pen, that is bad. I'm pretty sure this thing does not get preferential matchmaking. Its armor doesn't really amount to anything, and its 0.42 accuracy and 2.5 second aim time is horrible. I went on the forums before I bought this thing. And I read up on it, and a lot of people were enthusiastic about this thing and saying it was a good tank. They lied. This thing is horrible. It really is. It just... ugh. I've never played it since, pretty much. It was a waste of money. T-54 first prototype is basically this thing, just the opposite of everything. This thing is fast, it's mobile, has pretty good armor, 120 frontal armor, so you do bounce a lot off his frontal plate. Gun is... meh. It's not bad. 175 pen, it's not fantastic. 2.6 aiming time is a bit long, at 0.38 is not the most accurate, but overall it's not bad. And the whole tank as a whole is pretty fun, so that's good. Churchill III. Hopefully you guys enjoyed just going through all these premiums. We're halfway done. So hopefully you get some idea of what some of these are like. Churchill III, I've not been playing this thing recently. I don't know why, but this thing has fallen out of grace for me. Lately I've just been having terrible games. When I started playing this thing, when I got it, I played this thing for like 2 days straight and I was having a blast. Having good games all around, top guns left and right, you know, surviving through multiple tank attacks at the same time, you know, that sort of shit. And all of a sudden, I don't know what changed, but this thing just rolls over and dies every game. And I can't pen anything, I can't hit anything. It's almost like they secretly nerfed this thing into hell or something. I really don't know what happened, but I didn't play it for a while, I went back into it, and just shit games. I've tried it a lot of times, and nothing but shit, so I'm pretty much just done with this tank for now. KV-220, this thing is a blast. This thing is probably going to get some buffs as well, which is insane. The whole armor of an IS-3, KV-3, excuse me, not an IS-3, KV-3. Yeah. 100 frontal hull armor, 100 side armor, 80 rear. This thing is armored as all hell. It's ridiculous. Angle this puppy, and yeah, people are just gonna bounce off. Turret is the weak spot on this thing, but with 90mm of armor and not a lot of flat surface on there, it's not that weak. And this particular gun, which... What? What? What the hell is this? Okay, well, I'm not gonna show you the gun through that way. I'll just show you here. What the hell? Rate of fire 14, pretty good, but 99 penetration is a bit lacking. 110 damage is meh. 0.46 accuracy and 2.3 second aim time, that's pretty good, but the accuracy is not great. But if they gave this thing any better gun, it would be insanely OP. Let's take a look at my... Oh, not that. Go away. At this one. I've only played 9 games in it. 67% win rate. Armor use efficiency of 2. Yeah, over 2. That is insane. This thing is really, really tough. Already got a top gun on this thing and everything. Yeah, this is a fun ass tank. Yes, I know my crew can get a skill. I'm just waiting for this experience to rake up high enough so I can actually retrain all my crew and get the first 2 skills to 100% because I want Brothers in Arms. So yeah, that will have to wait until I get enough experience on there. KV5 recent acquisition. And I'm not gonna tell you which tanks were gifted and which ones were my own. You've pretty much seen the videos. You know that half of these are gifted by Mizu, a couple. Or one by Aju, one by, oh, I need to remember, I'm pretty sure it was Atom Ant that helped me out with the WZ111, there it is. I hope I got that right. I'm pretty sure it was Atom Ant who did that. So yeah, multiple people have contributed to this garage, including myself and other people as well. So it's not just Mizu, but there's a lot in here from Mizu. Like the BTSV is the most recent, there we go, I can English. Recent acquisition. Oh man. KV5, I've been platooning these things up, and they're pretty tough tanks, but everybody knows the weak spot on this thing. I'm still hoping that this thing is gonna get a buff, and there are some wow! I need coffee, holy shit! There are some rumors floating around that this thing in the future might get buffed. Which, actually, I wouldn't mind, because the gun on this thing is not that fantastic. 167 pen for a tier 8 is quite lacking. It is 300 damage though, but the penetration is quite lacking, so I would not be opposed to this thing getting nerfed, and everybody knows where to pin this thing, like everyone. So yeah, a little bit of a buff would not be a bad thing. Not too much, because that would make this thing overpower very quickly, but I think it can use a little bit of a touch-up. So, IS-6, also a relatively recent acquisition. This thing is just bouncy as all fudge. It's funny. This thing just, it can glance off so many shots, it's ridiculous. Borderline OP, the armor. Even though it's not that fantastic, it is just borderline OP with how much this thing bounces. SU-100Y, gigantic derp gun, gigantic tank. So we have 96 penetration with 440 average damage. This thing is a beast, but it gets detected from across the map, and you get a big neon arrow pointing toward your tank whenever you shoot. So there's a big gigantic downside to this tank. SU-122 well, I still don't know what to think about this tank. I've been playing some games in it, and I don't know, I don't really enjoy it all that much. I need to get used to it a little bit more. Like I said, it's only been a couple of games so far, but the gun just misbehaves for me all the time. I don't know. I have no idea. The gun just seems to misbehave for me. The exact same thing as I had on a test server. It just never goes where I point it to. I don't know if it's just me or the Russian TD hates me or this gun. I don't know, but it's just bizarre. But it just... Oh, shut up, phone. Really? It just doesn't really want to work for me, but I'll keep trying and see what happens. I've seen many people have fantastic games in this thing. This thing is considered pretty OP, just not in my hands for some reason. I just cannot make this thing work so far, but it's only been a couple of games, so who knows, maybe I just haven't found the magical keywords to unlock this thing. I don't know. 1375, 75, 57. Wow, I need coffee. Damn. 1357 GF. This is the GF model. There is a normal model coming that doesn't have this Wargaming League on it. This was the Grand Finals, that's why it's a GF model. I don't know when they're bringing out the normal version of this, which I'm pretty sure is going to be exactly the same, with the difference that this paint job won't be on here. You'll actually be able to put on a normal camo paint, because you can't. Like, there are none. So, yeah. So, yeah, this thing is a blast. Much, much better than the normal tank. The normal 1357. Not 57, 75. Oh my god, those numbers today. AMX CDC. How do I quantify this thing? Fast, agile, no armor, great gun, unforgiving as shit. Get hit, get wrecked. That's the motto in this thing. It's that simple. Get hit, you get wrecked. Done. 30 and 20 all-round armor. Yeah, that means tier 2s or so with derp guns can penetrate you with HE. Yeah. Fun tank though, but painful if you get hit. But as you can see here, I have a nice little female crew on it. That's where I stuck my female crew. My first one at least. So yeah, nice ass tank otherwise, but it really is unforgiving. FCM is one of these old relics that's still around and still has 400 meters of U range? Wow, holy shit! I'm so sorry guys, I need coffee badly. Wow. View range, holy shit. 400 meters is insanely good at this tier. Nothing can outspot this thing, it's just fantastic. I usually just run this thing with camo binoculars and a toolkit. I don't really know what else to put on it. I could put coated optics on this thing to just make it that much more insaner. Might not be a bad idea. As for the gun, aim time 1.5 seconds, so the gun laying drive, where is it, is just pointless. Spall liner, well, this thing has 40 millimeters of armor, there's no point, really. Maybe to keep my crew safer, maybe that will help from protection from explosions, maybe. Enhanced spring, yeah, pointless. Wet ammo rack, pretty pointless. So there really wasn't anything to put on this thing, so I just stuck with the normal equipment pieces that you can just remove, because there really wasn't anything else to put on. T15, this thing is pretty good. It does not get preferential matchmaking, which is a bit of a bummer, but it's just a nice little light tank. It's not a scout, it's not really... Top speed is good, but this thing really isn't a scout. This is more of a light medium-ish tank. This thing plays a lot like T25s, really. And T25 is the evolution of this thing, I think. I'm not sure. But yeah, this thing is just a fun little tank, and that's the best way to put it, just a fun little tank. And the same goes for the T25 here. Gun is pretty damn good. Good rate of fire with 14, good penetration, good damage. Accuracy is a little bit and the aim time at 2.5 seconds is a bit long, so I definitely recommend getting enhanced gun laying drive. Probably vents to help put that aim time, and the rammer, because always get a rammer if you can. Crew is full camo crew, because this is my VK3002M crew, which is pretty much a sniper, so that's why this crew. Now, as for the Panther MIDS 88, I actually surprisingly enjoyed this tank. I wasn't quite sure. Now, there are some gigantic problems with this tank. This tank neither has depression nor elevation. Both of them are terrible. Like, the elevation, I think, is about this much. Like, at the end of the barrel is about this much, so it's very minimal. As for the depression, probably around here-ish. Where's the end of the gun? There we go. Here's the end of the gun. So depression is probably maybe around here-ish. It's pretty bad. And elevation, here-ish. So really, if you're on a downward slope with your front of the tank pointing down, you can't shoot straight. It's pretty bad. So you really have to mind your position on this tank. Now, I've played 1 or 2 games in it yesterday, and I kind of enjoy it. It's not a bad tank. The gun is pretty decent. Reload is a bit slow though. That is one thing I have to say. The reload is a bit of a waiting for that reload. .32 accuracy is pretty damn good, so most of the things you're aiming at long range you will hit pretty much where you're aiming at. So overall, I did not expect it, but surprisingly enjoyed this thing. I'm gonna have to play it more and really figure it out, but yeah, I kinda like it. Now, this thing right now is not a joy to play because they're doing some weird ass promo mission thing where you can rent one of these and a lot of people are running around in them, and yeah, it's no fun to play. But once things settle down in that tier again, this thing only gets into tier 4 games, nothing more. This is a tier 4, it gets into tier 4 games. Yeah. Gun, not spectacular. 55 penetration, 52 damage, not spectacular. Aim time, 1.1 second, fantastic. Rate of fire, fantastic. Accuracy, 0.39 is quite lackluster, and you will have trouble penning your own tank like this thing. And some other tanks, like a Matilda, you have pretty much no chance to pen unless premium, and even then it's iffy to pen them. Let's see, with premium you get 90 penetration, 52 damage. Yeah, even with premium, Matildas are tough. So Matilda is your mortal enemy, but this thing is a good wreck everybody's face kind of tank. It really is. It's a fun thing to drive. StuG IV is the mission tank, the mission reward. This thing, I'm currently on my way to get the concept. Haven't played light tanks all that much recently. About a quarter or a third done on the medium tanks. A little bit further on the heavy tanks, and a little bit further on TDs as well. Nothing done on RD, obviously. So, yeah, on my way to the concept. So, Dicker Max. This thing gets a very good gun. I hate that they changed it. Normally you could right click on here. I'm gonna open up the stats, they removed that. You have to click it left and then click it right. Really annoying. 169 pen. Not the most penetration, but 300 damage per shot with that rate of fire is pretty damn good. Reasonably-ish accurate, but this thing, what makes this thing special is that it gets, off the top of my head, 12 degrees of depression. Yeah, this thing can depress its gun to like here. It's insane. You can peek over a hill and basically just show this and up. I can't point my camera anymore down, but you can really hold down this thing. Not that this will bounce anything, don't get me wrong, because it is 50 millimeters at best. And it's open top, so artillery will wreck you, but yeah, you can really go hold down this thing, which is a good way to play it. I have not actually played this thing, I just realized that. I have not taken it out. I'm gonna have to do that today. E25, what can I say? Machine gun, that's all you need to know. Jagdtiger 88, from a credits making potential standpoint, this thing is really good. I don't know exactly why, but I think the multiplier for damage to credits is just excessively high in this tank. Because you can do, let's say 1500 damage and already rake up over 30k of profit easily without premium. So with premium that would be about 50-ish k. 40 to 50k. So this thing just makes credits very easily for not a lot of effort. Now this thing is gonna get buffed. Machine gun weakness is gonna get removed. This armor is gonna get slightly more sloping, which effectively makes it a lot stronger. Lower plate is gonna get a little bit more sloping, and I think a little bit more thickness as well. The upper and lower plate will pretty much be the same thickness. And the roof will get some additional thickness, so you can't overmatch the roof anymore either. So pretty much frontally, this thing will have no more weak spots. Combine that with the additional top speed that it's going to receive, and you're looking at a buffed Jagdtiger 88 that will be the hold down king. Yeah, I want it. Kanonenjagdpanzer. Well, I've recently told you guys what I think about this thing. I've not taken it out myself. I've been pretty swamped lately, so I've not been playing a lot of tanks, so I've not been getting a chance really to take out some of these tanks. And I've been platooning with people that just don't have tanks out of this tier that get this kind of matchmaking. Now this is normal matchmaking, of course, but I've been platooning up with Solmeya, which he only has a tier 8, and that's a KV5, so that thing gets special matchmaking, so we can't platoon up this thing, for instance. So yeah, I've not been able to play this thing, hopefully today. As we move on, Chinukai, yeah, sucks balls. Next, Heavy tank number 6. I still don't like this thing. Some people say this thing is a good tank. I just cannot stand 132 penetration. I hate tanks with low pen. No. I just don't enjoy tanks that can't pen. It frustrates me, and I hate frustration in this game. And I know you can aim for weak spots, but the accuracy just doesn't allow you to do that. .38 is not that accurate, so this thing just doesn't pen most of its shots, and it just doesn't hit. Yeah, no. I just find low pen guns frustrating, and I tend to not play those tanks a whole lot. This thing, I don't know. This thing seems to be a killer for me. I don't know why. I just get more kills than I spot on this thing. It is fast. It gets not a fantastic gun, but 128 pen is pretty lacking, and the damage is well, and the accuracy is horrible, but aim time is pretty good, rate of fire is good, so you can just spam your rounds. But yeah, that penetration really is a problem point. But once you get around people, it's enough for asses, and I don't know why, but this thing just seems to kill. Just a lot. Type 62, my oldest premium tank, my absolute first premium, and this thing will always have a special place in my garage. It is a fun tank. It was one of my best crews here, and I'm pretty sure it's my most played tank. Still is, I think. Yeah, still is. M4 second, but I sold my M4 because I just didn't enjoy that thing anymore. And T26E4, also known as the Super Pershing, on the third place there. T34, I've been playing this thing a lot. I've been getting a lot of bad games. I was at almost 59% win rate, but went down a little bit, but we'll get that back up once I get some better games again. Yeah. Yeah, that thing. Okay, let's continue. We're almost done. T34-3. This thing I still struggle with. It's a medium tank with excessively bad depression, so you really need to know where to park this thing to have the best chance of being able to shoot people. And close quarters, this thing usually tends to be terrible, because any bump in the road, your gun just won't be able to point in somebody's engine deck that's right next to you. It's that bad, so I kind of struggle on this thing still. So just get those shots where they need to go. And yes, I have been gifted one of these as well, the 59 Patton. I have not been able to take this thing out again today, and hopefully tomorrow I'll get some chances to take out some of these tanks a bit more. It's just been swamped with life. It happens. So yeah, haven't been able to take this thing out, but hopefully today and tomorrow. From what I can tell, the gun is meh. 173 penetration is not fantastic. That's pretty much the same gun as the Super Pershing. Might actually be slightly worse. So actually take a quick look here. And I'll grab this one. It's almost the same gun. Same caliber. Rate of fire is slightly better on this gun. Penetration is slightly better. Damage is the same accuracy, and the aim time is slightly worse. So yeah, very comparable to the Super Pershing, that gun. So I guess it's not too bad, because a lot of people hate the gun on the Super Pershing and say it's terrible, but for some reason it works for me. So I'm just weird that way. I don't know why. Some guns work for me, and other guns that everybody calls OP just don't work for me. I don't know what it is. So this thing, its turret is just, it's a monstrosity on this tank, let's be honest. But the frontal armor on this thing is 100mm and sloped. This is basically the hull of a Type 59. You know how friggin' bouncy those things are. So yeah, turret armor 177mm. This turret is pretty damn armored as well. This machine gun is not even that much of a weak spot either. It's kind of ridiculous. It is the weak spot, don't get me wrong. It is the weak spot, but not as weak as you would think or hope when you're shooting at it. So frontally, this tank is actually pretty strong, and I can't wait to take it out. Now I do notice here that I didn't buy my items on here. I'm gonna have to do that. And last but not least, the WZ11111111. Oh no, wait. Yeah. This thing is a solid tank. That's really all I can say about it. It's just a solid tank. Not the most fantastic, not horrible. It's just a solid tank. This thing is a lot like an IS-6. In some respects, a little bit less bouncy. In other ways, I think it's more mobile. Top speed of 50. Yeah, this thing is a little bit more mobile, but overall, it's fairly similar to an IS-6. I mean, gun and all. It's the same gun, so yeah. fairly similar, and it's just, yeah, just a solid tank. That's really all I can say about it. It's not spectacular. You can have spectacular games in it because it can be bouncy, and then the next game you'll just get penetrated by every single shell. So yeah, it's a bit of a odd one. Whew. That was 30 minutes of talking. I need a coffee, and I need to look at what I'm gonna do here. I'm not quite sure. We'll be right back after I get my coffee. Himmelsdorf. I hate this map. I really despise this map. I think it's one of the worst maps in the game. But a lot of people seem to disagree on that, but I just don't like this map at all. Especially when I'm in a freaking squishy TD. Damn it. That was horrible. Yay, we bounced a shot! Ah, really? Couldn't even hit him. Really? And I can't even outdamage E25, as you can see. He can put in like multiple shots for every one I can put in. And that's just the problem with this tank. Rate of fire is just, for what it does, it's terrible. And it just can't really go toe to toe with anything. With the respects of out shooting anybody. I'm gonna peek out here. Yes, he is. Come on! Ah, I hate those buildings. Ah, those buildings absorb way more than they should. It's insane. Like, you pretty much just cannot shoot through this stupid building even though it's wide open. It's ridiculous. So yeah, this is gonna be a horrible game. It's probably gonna be a win, possibly, but it's gonna be a horrible game. Guess we can move up a little bit here. There's still two E25s on the outside there. I just want to move up to here and see if I can support the hill a bit. Oh, E25 spotted. Dang it. Oh. Ah, that light tank was in the way. Ah, shit, the hill was just lost. And that was a little bit too late. Hill was completely gone. Dang it. And as you know, this tank one-on-one doesn't work. Can't really fight people one-on-one. But we're gonna try, and this is just flipping horrible, worthless shit game, so yay. Come on, show yourself. Screw this. Pull back. Just hope I don't get RDs. God damn you! Ah, freaking hell! Well, at least we're defending the base here. Still a light tank out there somewhere. Ooh, can we snag a kill here? No. Where's that light tank? It's pretty much boxed in. He has nowhere to go, so. Mine. Yeah, horrible game. I'll just drive across the map here and do absolutely nothing because everything will be dead before we get there. So speed on this thing is good. There's nothing I can say about that. Speed is, as you can see, fantastic. This tiger would actually move. Could have, like, you know, gone a little bit wider. I would have expected to spawn by now. There's one. Mine. Mine. Where's the last one? Where's that last one? There he is. Mine. So that's how you play this tank. Aha! I think I just figured something out. Oh, that was insane. What the hell was that? Second class for that? I just don't even know. Wow, that's a second class? Shit. Okay. Enemy E25 had 1 kill. Friendly, I mean. Yeah. Let's close this out. Not fantastic on the experience part. Not fantastic on the damage part. Fart 11, hit 7, pen 7. Of those 7, I think all of them were on the move, right? So, yeah. It would have been 23k without profit. It wasn't a fantastic game by any stretch of the imagination. So, profit-wise, yeah, it's not great, not bad, I guess. Without premium, would have walked away with a double and all that with 1600 total experience, but we had premium and we had some bonus for a mission plus bonus for this being a premium vehicle, which is 10% by the looks of it. Yep, it's a tier 8, so 10% confirmed. 2400 experience, which will nicely go towards my crew that still sucked balls. So, yeah, that was a live record. Glad it was a funny one because most of my live records are just terrible and that's why I don't do them. But for some reason, whenever I'm recording, I just get the most horrific games possible, and then I turn them off and I get a stinker. It's like, gee. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this extra long Saturday video. I know it's not a sub-Saturday, but I kind of figured we watched enough subscriber replays to just watch an actual gameplay for once. So there you go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.